Imagine standing at the very top of the world, just 800 miles from the North Pole. There are no trees here, no highways leading in or out. Surrounding you is a vast, silent wilderness of jagged blue glaciers, endless snowfields, and thousands of roaming polar bears. When winter arrives, the sun sinks below the horizon in late October and simply refuses to rise again for nearly 4 full months. The entire world collapses into a deep, velvety, uninterrupted night. In this frozen frontier, you'll find one of the strangest facts on Earth. It is practically illegal to die. Welcome to Longyearbyen, located on the Arctic archipelago of Svalbard, officially the northernmost permanent settlement in the world. With temperatures dropping far below freezing, for months of continuous pitch-black darkness, and wild apex predators roaming just outside the town limits, this place feels less like a city and more like a human outpost on another planet. Yet, against all odds, nearly 2,500 people from over 40 different nations call this place home. It raises a fascinating question. How do you build a warm, peaceful, and thriving community in a land where nature actively resists human life? To step into Longyearbyen during the winter months is to experience time differently. From November through February, the concept of day and night completely disappears. At 12 o'clock noon, the sky above the town is just as dark as it is at midnight. The only light comes from glowing yellow street lamps, the warm windows of wooden houses painted in bright red and yellow, and the occasional neon green ribbons of the northern lights dancing across the midday sky. Because there is no daylight to guide you, daily life requires a total mindset shift. People wake up, eat breakfast, walk their kids to school, and go to work in complete darkness. Yet, instead of sinking into winter depression, the residents lean into the mood. They light candles in every window, gather in local coffee shops, and embrace a cozy culture of community that turns the harsh Arctic dark into something warm and inviting. Living on the edge of the Arctic Circle means following a set of rules you won't find anywhere else on Earth. The most famous rule is one you see the moment you walk through the doors of a local supermarket, post office, or church. There's a gun safe at the entrance. In Svalbard, polar bears roam freely across the islands. While bears rarely venture directly onto the main street, the danger is very real the moment you step outside the town boundaries. By law, anyone leaving the settlement is recommended and required to carry a high-powered rifle and a flare gun for protection. It is a common sight to see a student or a grocery shopper casually walking down the road with an unloaded rifle slung over their shoulder. Step inside any building, however, and the atmosphere changes instantly. In Longyearbyen, everyone takes off their shoes at the front door, whether you're entering a high-end restaurant, a public library, or a hotel. This tradition dates back to the early days when the town was a coal mining hub, and miners took off their boots to keep black coal dust out of the living spaces. Today, the tradition remains, and public places often provide cozy indoor slippers for visitors to wear. You also won't find a single pet cat in the entire town. Cats were officially banned to protect the fragile populations of Arctic birds that nest in the surrounding tundra. Of all the unusual characteristics of Longyearbyen, none catches the world's attention quite like its relationship with life and death. In the center of town sits a small, wooden church surrounded by a handful of white crosses. But no one has been buried in this graveyard since the 1950s, because Svalbard rests entirely on deep permafrost, ground that remains permanently frozen hundreds of feet underground. The soil never truly thaws. Decades ago, locals realized that bodies buried in the frozen earth do not decompose. In fact, when scientists tested century-old graves here, they found preserved samples of the deadly 1918 Spanish flu virus intact inside the frozen tissue. To prevent health risks, and because the isolated town lacks facilities for long-term palliative care, burials were officially halted. If a resident becomes terminally ill or reaches the final stages of old age, They are flown south to mainland Norway to spend their final days. The town also has no major maternity ward, meaning pregnant mothers leave for the mainland weeks before their due dates. Longyearbyen is a town without a full life cycle, a place reserved almost entirely for the living, the healthy, and the adventurous. Just outside of town, carved nearly 400 feet deep into the solid sandstone of a frozen mountain, sits a structure that looks like something out of a science fiction film. This is the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Designed to withstand nuclear fallout, asteroid impacts, and extreme climate shifts, is humanity's ultimate backup plan. Inside its icy chambers lie over 1 million seed samples from nearly every country on Earth. A secure backup copy of global agriculture to ensure humanity can restart food production if a catastrophe strikes. There is a strange, poetic beauty to the fact that the coldest, most isolated town on Earth holds the key to preserving the future of life itself. When March finally arrives, the 4-month night begins to break. The sun creeps back above the horizon, touching the mountain peaks for the first time in months. The locals gather on the steps of an old hospital building to celebrate the Solfastuka, the week of the sun, cheering as daylight returns to the valley. By summer, the weather flips to the opposite extreme. From April to August, the sun never sets. Under 24 hours of constant daylight, the snow melts into green tundra. Arctic foxes roam the valleys, and the cold waters fill with seals and whales. Longyearbyen proves that human beings don't need mild weather or easy conditions to thrive. With a shared spirit of resilience, respect for nature, and a touch of warmth in the dark, people can turn even the most extreme corner of the earth into a place called home. If you could explore any country, city, or hidden corner of the world in our next film, where would it be? Let me know in the comments below. Your suggestion might just become the focus of our next documentary. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep exploring.